Okay, we are back, stepping into the ring once again. Here to duke it out. Constant Approach channel on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. JV Wins Dogon SS. Per usual, I think both of us were in a flowery mood today. Uh, we did
Yeah,
not plan this. It just so happened to work out that way. For anyone
right.
who wants to point out the flowery patterns in the attire for the stream today. Thanks for hitting us up. Appreciate it. We got a lot to talk to tonight. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know how you think about each of these topics. If you happen to be catching wind of what we do over here on Conscious Approach for the first time, whether you're watching the stream or whether you're watching one of the videos, go ahead and let us know what you think about the commentary. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. Like the video. We certainly appreciate the support and engagement as we continue to get this thing rocking and rolling. Now, we're going to go ahead and get right into it.
Mhm.
First topic of this evening, we are going to talk about uh, a concept that I saw getting floated around. So, apparently, the New York City Council has proposed declaring December 4th, which is Jay Z's birthday, a
Mm.
national holiday.
Oh,
And Big Daddy Kane, who is a musical inspiration for Jay Z, is fully on board with the idea. So we like to talk about rappers, hip hop music, and each of their influences on society pretty regularly on this channel. So we thought that this was good content for us to kick it on. Let's see here. So we'll go ahead and provide a little context first, as we always like to do. This article says Big Daddy Kane approves of Jay Z's birthday as a national holiday. The New York City Council recently proposed to make Jay Z's birthday, December 4th, a holiday for the metropolis known as Jay Z Day.
mm.
Moreover, it came through Council member Farrah Lewis in Resolution 849 in early December of last year. Quote, December 4th as Jay Z Day announces to the world how this Brooklyn son can be all things, including loved by his community, she remarked, according to All Hip Hop. In the spirit of celebrating hip hop's 50th anniversary, establishing an annual celebration to recognize a homegrown hero while proclaiming our municipal support is fitting to designate. Our resolution is an emotional, practical banner raised. Jay Z has shown the resilience to beat the odds, self admitted errors, and has developed mechanisms to create opportunities for others. As always, he has done this work wearing Brooklyn and New York City on his heart. Furthermore, TMZ recently asked Big Daddy Kane about this potentially national initiative for Jay Z on Friday, which was January 5th. I think it's real cool, he remarked to the outlet. You got to understand, hip hop is a culture, a music culture, and now it's a genre that people shun down upon, look down upon. And when you see it can grow billionaires, it can become a multi genre where there's different forms of hip hop. It can become the highest grossing music genre and see if an artist can get a national holiday, I'm all for it. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But Dark Gable doesn't, that's Big Daddy Kane, doesn't just look to rap legends for inspiration. He also champions the newer guard. Recently, he spoke on Drink Champs about why J. Cole is his favorite MC of the past generation. I love Kendrick, Big Daddy Kane explained, but you got to understand. Cole said, no Cosby shit, but if they sleeping on me, fuck them. So Big Daddy Kane is certainly in support of the idea of making Jay Z's birthday a national holiday. I'm not going to click on the video clip because it will get flagged because it plays the little TMZ audio thing. You know how this is, man. So for anyone who does not know, machine learning technology for these various social media networks and these technology companies, they do not search for video content, they search for audio. So if you hear that doom doom doom, it's an automatic flag by Google. They'll flag your video because TMZ will. It gets flagged as copyright, and so then your video can't get viewed. And I don't got time for all of that. So, if you want to watch that clip of Big Daddy Kane's cosign, link to this article is in the description of this video. As always, you can check that out for yourself. But that is the gist of this entire scenario. So, New York City council is trying to propose Jay-Z's birthday as a national holiday. Big Daddy Kane is in support. The question, the big $1 million question, dare I say,
Mhm.
is Dogon SS in favor of Jay-Z's birthday being a national holiday?
Um, it depends. It depends on the layout of this holiday. Like, is it only in New York? Is it will people just be, it's a regular day and it's just his day? Because there's other ceremonious days that other people have in other cities, and it's not to the notoriety of a Jay Z. So for him to have one of those days in one of these cities, and it's like, okay, well that's fine by me, so long as it's stuff like that. Now, national, like everybody has to partake in this somehow, some way, or it's whatever. Um, I'm not in favor of that. I'm just not. Um, I mean, the guy is a musical genius. He's very good at what he does. There was a genre out there that was created. He adapted it and became one of the best. Some would say the best to ever do it. So that is commendable. So, but to have it like super national, like everybody has to do it, it's a bit much. But the people in New York, they can have a ball with this. And I wouldn't be mad at it. You know, it's kind of like having a key to the city kind of thing. So why not? So I'm in favor for it, so long as it stays tame and in house and local. What about you, sir? What are your thoughts on Big Daddy Kane co-signing Jay-Z having a national holiday?
Yeah, these guys tend to stick together. So I'm not surprised that Big Daddy Kane feels that way. Plus, Jay-Z has very publicly throughout years talked about how Big Daddy Kane is a direct inspiration on him as an artist, as a rapper. So definitely not surprised that Big Daddy Kane likes it. I pretty much feel the same way that you feel. I don't know how this thing works. I don't, because when I see the word national, what that says to me is national,
Yeah,
the whole United States. That's
yeah,
what the word national means to me. So if something is a national holiday, then that to me suggests it's going to be something that is acknowledged by the entire country, not just New York. Reading through that article, it didn't say nothing about New York holiday. It said national. So
hmm,
I don't know how this stuff works. I don't know if something can be declared national even though it's only acknowledged in a particular region or location. I'm
right.
not sure about that. Obviously, there's more research to be looked into to see how those particulars work.
Hmm.
But I'm pretty much on the same page with you. If it's a New York thing, if it's a Brooklyn thing, it doesn't really bother me. If it's an actual national holiday where it's just recognized by everybody, that makes me a little uncomfortable. I think that should be reserved for people who make impacts across the board with
Right.
respect to humanity. And now
Right.
that's I don't want to. That's not necessarily to take anything away, because Jay Z's done his thing philanthropically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He supports Artists for Peace and Justice, Boys and Girls Club, GLAD, Global Poverty Project, Keep a Child Alive, NAACP, whatever,
yeah.
United Way, Red Cross. So he's done his thing. He's done his thing philanthropically. He gives back in various aspects. So I'm not going to take that away from him. However, he, at the end of the day, is not Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or any of these individuals.
Right.
He's done what he has done within the purview of what he can and what he's been able to curate for his career. But there's something to me like he's not a civil servant. He's not pounding the pavement. He's enacting. He's contributing to legislation on certain levels. The
Mm,
whole criminal justice thing and all that. But he's not actually a civil servant. And I think nationally recognized holidays ought to be reserved for civil servants. Although as we see in other aspects of American society, we are starting to dilute the criteria for certain things. So I also wouldn't be shocked if in the future we did start seeing certain people like Jay-Z get their own national holiday because things are just being diluted with each passing generation, whether it's sports standards, entertainment standards, political standards, music standards. Things are diluting
Mhm.
progressively. So, because things are diluting progressively, I wouldn't be shocked if he did have his own nationally recognized holiday at some point in the future. But as it currently stands, in my opinion, I think these types of designations should be reserved for civil servants, despite what he has done philanthropically. And there's just a part of putting rappers on that kind of a pedestal that makes me uncomfortable. Um, it reminds me of Dave Chappelle way back in 2004 on his For What It's Worth stand up when he was talking about celebrity hero worship, which I mean, the guy was way ahead of his time. If you watch that stand up, that was now almost 20 years ago because now we're in 2024, and the stuff that he was talking about in that stand up resonates tremendously with a lot of things that are happening currently. And we see the tea leaves for a lot of pushing the envelope a bit too far in the direction of celebrity hero worship. And that's not just with rappers, it's with other celebrities and notable people in entertainment as well. These people aren't civil servants and they're tremendously flawed. So you start to go down the path of naming national holidays for their birthday and their namesakes. To me, it's kind of I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with that personally. I'm sure other people would disagree with that. It is what it is. But you know how I feel about this rap, about these rappers and this rap stuff. I
Yeah.
just there's a part of it that gives me tremendous dissonance. But that's just me. Other people are a little more laissez-faire when it comes to according these people that kind of gratification. For me, it's not really up my alley, but I can understand why Big Daddy Kane feels the way he feels. And I'm kind of with you. If this is something that's New York centered, New York centric, if it's a regional type thing, if it's something where it's acknowledged, hey, Jay-Z Day, it's his birthday, but we're not closing post offices and banks and everybody's still going to work, okay, maybe. But if we're talking about shutting down stuff and heralding this day as a national holiday where people are off of work and all kinds of weird stuff like that.
Hey.
That to me is a slippery slope. But those are my thoughts on that. I kind of think stuff like that should be reserved for civil servants.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said, but I got to thinking, especially towards the latter part. Now, you said December 4th.
December
So,
4th. Yeah, yeah.
hey, man, that's another day in December for corporate days off. If they say, hey, man, this is part of my culture. I say, hey, this is part of my culture. I'm taking this day off. So, hey, if they make it national, I ain't gonna be mad. I just think it'd be silly. But hell, another day off is just another day off. Now, if it's just one of those pseudo ones where it's just like, oh, it's a national holiday, but you still got to go to work. To hell with it. I don't even know why we're celebrating it in the first place. So, yeah, so you can kick rocks if I ain't getting a day off. Uh, but as far as like New York, Brooklyn, or whatever, Bed-Stuy, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, man, shut the city down. You know what I'm saying? It just shut the city down. Double pay for those people. I figured that they would love to honor him somehow, some way. Here's the thing I have with all of this stuff. I'm about to take this in another direction. Not that morbid, but just follow the logic. It's kind of the thing of where, the new saying is people say, hey, give these people their flowers now while they're still alive and all that good jazz, which is, a notable thing to do, especially when people put in some type of legwork or whatever. Now, mind you, we are talking about a rapper. So I do hear your point. But
Mm,
the thing is let's say celebrity whatever, we're not going to put him in it, but or anybody, but celebrity whatever, celebrity X, and this person here is been rocking whatever field they've been rocking, doing their thing. Yeah, some stuff here, some stuff there in the weeds, but it's all smoke and it's all whatever. But at the end of the day, they end up having a long, whatever career. But that whatever stuff that was around their name or whatever, the person passes on. Then you go and look back at this stuff and it's like, hey man, I was doing a lot of hating, you know. I was doing a lot of hating on this person. They were actually kind of cool. They were actually doing their thing, you know. And then you can look at, who's, and just impose this on Jay-Z or whatever. Now, I still have my thoughts on the guy, but there's so many people that their thoughts aren't that. They saw this man work. They see this man transcend, do all these different things, become a billionaire, all of this other good stuff. And so with that, people will look at his life and go, oh man, you know, X amount of years from now, they would put up a statue of him somewhere in Brooklyn or wherever, somehow, you know. So if they were going to do something like that, just give him his own ceremonial day, if that's how your city rock. So, so I said all that to say is, sometimes we do got to appreciate people while they are still alive. And they're extending their form of appreciation, although I don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
With all that said, I still don't think the guy should have a day, because I would say, much like how you said, I would want somebody that would added to something, not Nobel Peace Prize type of thing, but up in that
Yeah.
range,
Yeah.
you know. So and this guy, he did his thing culturally. So if they want to have, what they need to have, and this is the last thing I say. I don't know if they do have it. If they do, I never heard of it. But they just need to have a hip hop Hall of Fame, an official one, much like they have a rock and roll thing. Because I think we have to try to get in there. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
He's
different thing.
already in there. They put him in there already, so he's
So there's
already
a
in there.
hip hop Hall
No,
of
no,
Fame.
no. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh shit,
But
but we
yeah, I'm
still.
pretty. Let me double check that. But I'm pretty sure he was inducted into that recently.
Well, it's still, that's pretty good. But still,
Yeah.
even then, I still think they need one for the culture. And that way, a lot of these people could, get some of the appreciation. That's like, hey man, you did put in a long career, you can stop. And here it is, you got a plaque now, you have a bust somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh no, it'll definitely be in New York. But yeah, I think they need to have something like that, just for these guys, because the Big Daddy Kanes and all of these guys that put in a lot of work. The reason why he's co-signing, Jay-Z, because, he feels as though, as an athlete, if you will, he put in the work. And where's our honors? So he look
Mm-hmm.
at it some type of an honor. So, and like you said, he's all clicked up. Rappers are rappers.
Mm-hmm.
They get the struggle. That's the fraternity. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I get it. But if I don't get a day off, they can shove this right on back. Don't need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I just feel I'm a little iffy when it comes to rappers specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it can go either way for me. I hear everything that you're saying, and he was so that this was in 2021. I knew
Okay.
I remember seeing that. So he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021. Chappelle, speaking of the devil, actually like introduced, now like he was the one who, brought Jay-Z up on
Yeah, I
stage
think
when
I
he
remember
presented
that.
him with the induction. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was a pretty monumental thing because there's not too many hip hop people, rapper people who are in that.
Mhm.
And like I said, philanthropically, he does give back in various ways. I didn't even mention the thing that he did in Brooklyn with the museum and all of that kind of stuff. So again, it's one of those things where I understand it,
Mhm.
but my whole thing with this is I just, as I've gotten older, I have become a little more conscientious about the notion of making hip hop synonymous with black people. And I've talked about that on this channel often. I don't need to rail on about that. You know how I feel
Right.
about that. Anyone
Mhm.
who's watched these videos knows how I feel about that. So
Mhm.
my whole thing is let's make sure that we are recognizing everybody and just not rappers and people like this. Because if we want to have Jay-Z, if we want to do a national day and it's Jay-Z's birthday, let's also, and I brought this person up before and I'm going to mention her again, let's also bring up people like Maya Moore. If Jay-Z can get a national day, then why can't Maya Moore get a national day in wherever she's from? Because she literally, she made a greater sacrifice than Jay-Z ever made. She quit playing basketball in the prime of her career. She was winning championships and MVPs when she was playing for the Minnesota Lynx. Quit playing basketball to study law so that she can be a part of actually enacting hard legislation that limits lengthy prison sentences for everybody, not just black and brown people, but obviously it inordinately targets black and brown people. But she did that. And that to me is extremely noteworthy. It doesn't get talked about as much because Jay-Z's Jay-Z and Maya Moore is Maya Moore. If you follow the WNBA or sports, of course you know who Maya Moore is, but in the grand scheme of the cosmos, Jay-Z's here with his billionaire, with his billions of dollars and his, you know, billionaire wife, you know, and all of this other stuff that he's got going on. And Maya Moore is kind of more in the recesses of the shadows, doing stuff on the ground level floor. And I think that she's doing things that are just as impactful, arguably, in my opinion. She doesn't have millions of dollars to donate to every charity here and there, but she's actually sacrificing a fruitful career to be involved in lawmaking, to be involved actively in legislation. And I think that that's very noteworthy. So if Jay-Z can get his day, people like her should get her day too. Because to me, people like her should be more recognized as part of the culture than they already are. Maybe not on par with rappers and hip hop stuff, because we know how music is just ubiquitous and it transcends a lot of things. But it has to at least approximate it in some way, in my opinion. So if Jay-Z can get his day and other people in his position can get their day, and I'm sure he wouldn't be opposed to this. It's not like I'm going at him. I'm just speaking on the climate of this entire situation.
Mhm.
And if he can get his day, people like her should get her day too, because I think that what she's doing is equally as impactful, albeit less recognized. So,
Yeah, or people like Oprah, or you know, who else? You know, Bill
yeah,
Gates, anybody to have a day. You know, Steve Jobs. You know, who knows? So
yeah,
you know, if they're doing this type of stuff, I don't care. So long as I get my day off. If it's just like, if this is no different than National Bagel Day, you know, National Hot Dog Day, National Tight End Day. Okay, then fine. Then it can be National Jay-Z Day. Who gives a damn? You know, I'm not gonna be, you know, I guess you can play your favorite Jay-Z album. I forgot real quick, which one is Reasonable Doubt? That's yours.
no, it depends on the day. It depends on the mood that I wake up in, but it's usually between the Blueprint and the Black Album. And it's literally my mood. My mood determines which one of those that day I think is the better of the two. But those two to me are the two best.
Yeah, man. Well, just play your favorite, stream it, you know, stream your favorite Jay-Z stuff, you know, add to his revenues. And
Yeah,
yeah, man, and celebrate his birthday, you know, on National Jay-Z Day. If it's just like National Bagel Day and National Hash Brown Day, then I don't mind. You can
yeah,
have it, man. You can have it.
yeah. I hear that. It's all good. Shouts out to the Jigga man. You know, he is my favorite rapper for what that's worth. Um, you know, I hold him in extremely high regard musically. I am one of those people who thinks that he's the greatest ever, but that is just my opinion, people. Please do not come for my neck. It's just my opinion. If you think someone is better than him, that is fine. I really don't care. Um,
Mm,
you know, because you know how it is.
yeah, I know it.
But yeah, shouts out to the Jigga man. National Jay-Z Day. We'll see how this thing plays out. But those are certainly our thoughts on this one for now. So, Jig-
National Dogon Day coming soon.
yeah, yeah, right. Jigga what? Jigga who? And National Conscious Approach Day.
Hey,
Feed
how
that
about
to the
that?
kids. Yeah.
It'll be on a Tuesday. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.